I've been dating my best friend's dad in secret and she just found out about us. I have known my best friend since kindergarten and I have been close with her family since we were little kids. Her mom passed away when she was still a toddler, and she has been raised by her single father her whole life. He is one of the most incredible men you will ever meet in your life. He was always so kind and caring to me and always welcomed me into his home. I used to sleep over her house all the time when I was a kid and he would always read us stories and tuck us in. He was truly such an amazing father and I always had some form of love for him. Now my friend and I are both about to turn 18 and I have been hiding a huge secret from her. I started having a crush on her dad when I was about 15 but I never thought anything would ever come from it. I don't know what changed in me. It was like something that just switched one day and I stopped seeing him as my friend's dad and started seeing him as this hot older man that I wanted more than anything. Again, I never thought anything would come of my feelings, but when I turned 17, I started noticing that he was looking at me differently and checking out my body, especially when I was wearing revealing clothing. I caught him staring at me so often that eventually, I decided to just go for it. I just couldn't resist him anymore. One morning after I had slept over the night before, I woke up early and knocked on her father's bedroom door while my friend was still sleeping. I was so nervous in that moment, but at that point, I was sure that he was attracted to me. When he opened the door, I looked him deep in the eyes and just told him that I wanted him. I can still remember how thrilled I was when he then picked me up and laid me on his bed. It felt so crazy to lose my B-card to my best friend's dad while she was asleep only a couple of doors down. Ever since that day we have been hooking up in secret behind my friend's back. Recently we have been talking about our growing feelings for each other and he admitted that he was in love with me. I told him that I think I had loved him ever since I was a child. We decided that our connection was more than physical and we wanted to have a real relationship. We knew this meant coming clean to my best friend but we were both so nervous about how she would react. I would be turning 18 soon so we could start dating publicly, and so we knew it was time for her to find out. We decided to tell her together so the other day I came over while she was out, and when she walked in we told her that we had something she needed to hear. At first, my friend thought we had gotten her a surprise gift or something. But after I admitted the truth about what had been going on between me and her father, she completely lost her mind, and things got messier than I could have ever imagined. Update: since I was only a month away from turning 18, my best friend's father and I decided to come clean to her about our relationship after dating in secret for about a year. I had always known it would be a huge shock to my friend to find out about us, but I never thought that she would have such a cruel reaction. After all, this was my best friend since kindergarten and even though I know what I'm doing is a little weird, she's my best friend and I thought that she would have some sort of understanding or support for me. We had decided to tell her together and as soon as the truth came out of my mouth my friend became a different person. She absolutely freaked out and started asking us what was wrong with us, asking us how we could do this to her, and she even called her dad a child lover, which I thought was really over the line. She screamed at her dad for a little while. I tried to tell her that this relationship hadn't just been his idea and that we were going to be together no matter how she felt about us, even though I was sorry this was stressful for her to hear. That's when my friend turned her attention to me and the way that she looked at me honestly made me fear for my life. I had never seen that amount of pure hatred in somebody's eyes and I never expected my own best friend to look at me that way. She screamed at me that I was a stupid WHRE and I had been totally manipulated by her dad, but you couldn't be more wrong. She kept screaming at me asking how I could have done this to her since we basically grew up together. I explained to her that I had always loved her dad while we were growing up, and that it's completely natural for us to want to be together. That's when my friend leapt up across the kitchen counter and grabbed me by the hair. She started smacking my face over and over with her fist and eventually made my nose bleed before her dad was able to rip her off me. He started yelling at her for attacking me and asking me to calm down and that's when she punched her own father in the face with a closed fist as well. I just sank to the floor and cried while trying to protect my face in case she came at me again. But the next thing I knew her dad put her in a bear hug and walked out of the house to drop her on the front steps. He locked her out and said that he would allow her back in when she calmed down, and that she couldn't just be attacking people for no reason. That's when she broke down and cried on the front steps and instead of yelling she was just sobbing and asking why over and over again. I honestly just wanted to leave right there and then but I wanted to stay to support my boyfriend. Eventually, she was just crying quietly and I told him to unlock the door, and then I wanted to go upstairs to shower and nap. She came inside while we were napping and neither of us has spoken to her since yesterday when everything came out. I honestly don't know what's going to happen, but she needs to understand that I won't be going anywhere and that this is only the beginning of her dad and I's relationship.